Imagine this. Two people earn the exact same salary, yet one builds wealth while the other remains stuck in financial stress. How is that possible? Most people assume that making more money is the key to financial success, but the truth is shocking. Your income alone doesn't determine your financial future. In fact, some of the highest earners in the world still live paycheck to paycheck. The Bible reveals why this happens and provides the principles that separate those who thrive financially from those who struggle. What if I told you that wealth has less to do with how much you earn and more to do with how you manage what God has entrusted to you? Proverbs 21:5 states, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty." This means that financial success is a result of intentional decisions, not just a high salary. Yet society keeps pushing the lie that more money will fix financial problems, when in reality, financial habits and mindset matter far more. In this video, we're diving deep into 3 dangerous financial traps that keep people poor and the 3 biblical habits that lead to lasting wealth. These are the same principles used by the financially successful, whether they realize it or not. By the end, you'll know exactly how 2 people with the same income can end up with completely different financial destinies. So, before you assume that your paycheck is the problem, let's uncover the real reason why people either grow wealth or stay broke, regardless of their income. The great illusion. A high salary does not mean wealth. Many people believe that earning more money is the key to financial freedom. If they could just get a raise or land a higher-paying job, they assume their financial problems would disappear, but this is one of the greatest illusions in personal finance. Wealth is not determined solely by how much you make. It is shaped by what you do with what you earn. Proverbs 11:28 warns us, "Whoever trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like a green leaf." Relying on income alone, without financial wisdom, leads to a fragile foundation that can crumble at any moment. To illustrate this, let's consider 2 individuals, John and David. Both earn $100,000 per year. John believes that his high income guarantees financial success, so he spends freely, upgrading his car, dining at expensive restaurants, and financing a luxurious lifestyle. David, on the other hand, understands that income is just one piece of the puzzle. He lives below his means, invests a portion of his earnings, and avoids debt. Fast forward 10 years and the difference is staggering. John is still living paycheck to paycheck, while David has built a portfolio of assets that generate passive income. Their incomes were the same, but their financial destinies were vastly different. This illusion is reinforced by societal norms that glorify high salaries while ignoring financial discipline. The world encourages people to chase promotions, but rarely teaches them how to manage wealth. Studies show that a significant percentage of high earners, those making over $200,000 per year, still live paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because they fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation, believing that more money automatically translates into stability. Yet the Bible teaches us that wisdom, not mere income, is the key to financial success. Proverbs 21:20 states, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down." Understanding this truth is the first step toward financial transformation. If wealth was simply about making more money, then every high-income earner would be financially free, but reality tells a different story. It's not about how much you earn, but how you manage, multiply, and steward what God has entrusted to you. This realization leads us to a deeper question. If income alone isn't enough, what are the real reasons why people with the same salary end up in drastically different financial situations? 3. Financial traps that keep people in poverty. Many people assume that financial struggles come from low income alone, but the truth is that bad financial habits can trap even high earners in a cycle of poverty. The Bible teaches us that foolish financial decisions lead to destruction, while wisdom brings prosperity. Proverbs 22:3 warns, "The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty." If we fail to recognize these traps, we may unknowingly sabotage our financial future, regardless of how much we earn. Here are 3 common financial traps that keep people stuck. Trap 1. The slavery of lifestyle inflation. When people start earning more, they often feel entitled to a better lifestyle. Instead of saving or investing, they upgrade their homes, cars, vacations, and dining habits. This phenomenon, known as lifestyle inflation, keeps them in a cycle where no matter how much they earn, they never seem to have enough. Jesus warns about the dangers of chasing material wealth in Luke 12:15. Watch out. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions. Many wealthy individuals live modestly, while those trying to look rich end up drowning in debt. Instead of spending more when income rises, a wise person invests and builds financial security. Trap 2. The burden of debt. Debt is one of the fastest ways to sabotage financial success. Many people accumulate credit card debt, car loans, and personal loans, believing they will pay them off later. However, high-interest debt drains wealth, making it harder to build financial stability. Consider two individuals. One uses credit cards recklessly and carries a $10,000 balance at a 20% interest rate, paying hundreds in interest every month. The other avoids debt and invests that same amount in an asset that grows over time. The difference over years is staggering. Proverbs 22:7 states, "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender." Avoiding unnecessary debt is one of the first steps toward financial freedom. Trap 3. Lack of financial planning and control. Without a plan, money flows out just as fast as it comes in. Many people don't track their expenses and underestimate how much they actually spend. This lack of awareness leads to financial chaos. Scientific studies even show that using credit cards reduces the pain of spending, making it easier to overspend without realizing it. Luke 14:28 reminds us, "Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it?" Budgeting and financial planning are biblical principles that help people take control of their money and build long-term wealth. These financial traps may seem harmless at first, but over time, they can determine whether someone thrives or struggles financially. If high income alone isn't enough to secure financial freedom, what are the key habits that actually create wealth? 3 biblical habits that create true wealth. While bad financial habits can trap people in poverty, wise financial habits can lead to true wealth. But what is true wealth? The Bible teaches that wealth is not just about money, it's about stewardship, financial wisdom, and using resources to fulfill God's purpose. Proverbs 3:9-10 says, "Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with new wine." When we manage money according to God's principles, wealth becomes a tool for blessing rather than a source of stress. Here are 3 biblical habits that build true financial success. Habit 1. Prioritizing investment in the future. Many people live as if money will always be there, spending everything they earn without thinking ahead. But the Bible teaches us the power of preparation. In Genesis 41:34-36, Joseph advised Pharaoh to save grain during the 7 years of abundance to prepare for the 7 years of famine. Because of this wisdom, Egypt survived a devastating crisis. The same principle applies to finances. Saving and investing today protects us from financial hardship in the future. Instead of spending recklessly, wise people build an emergency fund, invest in assets like stocks and real estate, and prepare for unexpected events. Habit 2. Paying yourself first. One of the biggest financial mistakes people make is spending first and saving whatever is left, often nothing. The wealthy do the opposite. They set aside money for savings and investments before anything else. This is a biblical principle. Malachi 3:10 teaches the importance of setting aside the first portion for God, and the same mindset applies to financial planning. If you treat savings as a non-negotiable expense, wealth will naturally grow. A simple strategy is to automatically transfer a percentage of income into an investment or savings account before touching the rest. Over time, this habit leads to financial security and freedom. Habit 3. Focusing on assets, not liabilities. Many people work hard for money but spend it on things that lose value, expensive cars, gadgets, or luxury items. In contrast, wealthy people use money to acquire assets that generate income. Matthew 25:14-30, the parable of the talents, shows how God expects us to multiply what we've been given. A wise person doesn't just earn money, they make money work for them. Instead of financing an expensive car that depreciates, they invest in income-generating assets like rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, or a business. Over time, this shift in thinking transforms financial situations. Applying these biblical financial habits leads to stability, growth, and long-term prosperity. But there's one more crucial element that shapes financial success: the mindset we have about money. Could it be that your beliefs about wealth are holding you back? The power of a biblical mindset about money. Financial success is not just about numbers, it's about mindset. The way a person thinks about money determines their financial behavior and, ultimately, their results. The Bible tells us in Romans 12:2, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Many people stay in financial struggles not because they lack income, but because they have a scarcity mindset. On the other hand, those who cultivate a biblical mindset of abundance and stewardship build long-term wealth. Let's explore how these two mindsets shape financial destiny. The scarcity mindset, fear and financial paralysis. A person with a scarcity mindset views money as something limited, fragile, and easily lost. They fear spending, avoid investments, and struggle to see opportunities for growth. They often think, I have to hold on to everything I have because I may never get more. This mindset leads to hoarding rather than stewarding. Matthew 25:24-30 describes the servant who buried his talent out of fear. Instead of multiplying what he was given, he did nothing. And as a result, he lost even the little he had. Many people today do the same with their finances, refusing to take wise steps toward financial growth because they fear loss. The abundance mindset, trusting in God's provision. In contrast, someone with a biblical abundance mindset understands that money is a tool to be managed, not a source of security. They see opportunities where others see limitations. Instead of hoarding, they steward their resources wisely, trusting that God provides. Philippians 4:19 reminds us, "And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus." This does not mean being reckless with money, but rather having faith that wealth, when managed with wisdom and integrity, can grow and be used for good. Those with an abundance mindset are more likely to invest, give, and build sustainable wealth. Transforming your mindset for financial growth. Changing financial circumstances starts with renewing the way we think about money. Instead of fearing lack, a biblical mindset embraces stewardship, multiplication, and trust in God's provision. Practical steps include reading financial books rooted in wisdom, surrounding yourself with financially disciplined people, and meditating on biblical principles of wealth. Proverbs 23:7 says, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." If a person constantly believes they will struggle financially, they will make decisions that reinforce that belief. But if they renew their mind with biblical truth, they can begin to walk in financial freedom. The way we think about money influences every financial decision we make. But once we've cultivated the right mindset, what are the next steps? How can we practically apply all these lessons to create lasting wealth? Practical steps to build wealth based on the Bible. Having the right mindset and financial habits is essential, but without action, nothing changes. The Bible teaches that wisdom must be applied for it to bear fruit. James 1:22 says, "Do not merely listen to the word, and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says." Many people hear financial advice but never take the necessary steps to improve their situation. To build true wealth, one must apply biblical principles consistently. Here are 5 practical steps to align finances with God's wisdom and create lasting prosperity. Step 1. Create a clear financial plan. Wealth does not happen by accident. It requires intentional planning. Just as an architect creates a blueprint before building a house, a person must design their financial future. Luke 14:28 states, "Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it?" This means setting clear financial goals, creating a budget, and tracking expenses. A budget is not restrictive. It is a tool for freedom, allowing people to direct their money with purpose rather than wondering where it went. Step 2. Eliminate debt quickly. Debt is one of the biggest obstacles to financial success. It drains resources that could be used for wealth building. The Bible warns in Proverbs 22:7, "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender." The first step is to stop accumulating new debt. Then, use strategies like the debt snowball method, paying off small debts first to build momentum, or the debt avalanche method, targeting high-interest debts first. Once debt is eliminated, financial opportunities expand, allowing for greater savings and investments. Step 3. Save and invest regularly. The wealthy don't just earn money, they make their money work for them. Investing is a biblical principle of stewardship, as seen in Matthew 25. 14:30. The parable of the talents. God expects us to multiply what He has entrusted to us. The key is consistency. Setting aside a portion of every paycheck into investments like index funds, dividend stocks, or real estate. Even small amounts grow significantly over time due to compound interest. Those who invest wisely will see their resources increase, not just for personal benefit, but to serve others and fulfill God's purposes. Step 4. Live below your means. Many people believe that a higher income will solve financial problems, but if spending increases at the same rate as income, wealth never grows. Proverbs 21:20 teaches, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down." Instead of inflating their lifestyle, the wealthy prioritize financial security and freedom. This means resisting unnecessary luxuries, finding ways to reduce expenses, and focusing on long-term prosperity rather than short-term pleasure. Step 5. Develop a mindset of stewardship and generosity. True wealth is not just about accumulation. It's about stewardship. A biblical approach to money recognizes that everything belongs to God, and we are simply managers of His resources. Malachi 3:10 says, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven." Giving is not about losing money. It is about positioning oneself for greater blessings. Generosity, whether through tithing, supporting ministries, or helping those in need, aligns finances with God's will and brings fulfillment beyond material wealth. Applying these steps creates a strong financial foundation that leads to lasting wealth. But the real challenge is taking action. So what's stopping you from making these changes today? Now that you know the truth, the question is, what will you do with it? You've seen that having a high income alone doesn't guarantee wealth, and that biblical financial principles can transform your financial future. Will you continue following society's broken system, or will you apply God's wisdom to take control of your finances? Proverbs 4:7 says, "Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And in all you're getting, get understanding." Financial success is not just about working harder, but about working wisely, applying divine principles to build lasting wealth. Ask yourself, have you been falling into the same financial traps that keep people stuck in poverty? Have you allowed lifestyle inflation, debt, or lack of planning to dictate your future? Or are you ready to develop the habits that lead to prosperity, investing early, living below your means, and managing money with wisdom? The choice is yours. Your financial future starts with the decisions you make today. Write in the comments, "I am already rich in God's grace," and see the power of this declaration over your finances and business. If this video gave you new insights, let me know in the comments. Which financial habit do you need to improve the most? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Consider supporting our ministry through the link in the description, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos on biblical finance and wealth building strategies.